You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
But what
Just
what
feel
line,
the panic in their voices.
What's the line
But here's
of business that is most
well. Here's what always happens. The first thing that happens is they try to go, oh, it's nothing, and they did that. I mean, that's with every new industry, every new technology comes along. The powers that be, the incumbents, the status quo, all say it's nothing. Don't ignore the man behind the curtain. This is nothing. And then all of a sudden it's too big to get in there. You know, they're going, oh my God, I got to face this thing. And then they all line up and they wrap their arms together and they say, we're not letting this happen. And then it keeps going. And then they say, okay, well, let's sue them. Or let's go get the government.
There's another thing they do. They adopt the technology. I think.
No, that's at the end.
They will adopt this technology.
No, this is the last thing they do. No,
yeah, it's like
it's after.
Right.
It's after the press planting. They plant the press stories. They put out lawsuits. They create as much of a fuss as possible. They try to get their government friends involved. And then they go, oh, God, this thing's happening.
Armstrong says that the notice wasn't entirely unexpected.
Over a series of 30 meetings over the last 9 months, we came and met with the SEC. We shared every detail of our business. We answered every question. We spent tens of millions of dollars on legal fees, explaining to them everything we could. And they finally said, all right, we're going to schedule a meeting to come back and give you some feedback. We said, great. This was going to be the first feedback that we had gotten from them in 9 months and after 30 meetings. The day before that meeting, they canceled the meeting. We didn't know why. And then a few weeks later, boom, we get served with a Wells notice.
You know, I've been in the crypto industry for about 10 years now. No one cared about us in the beginning. You know, they laughed at us, they ridiculed us. And then here we are on the biggest stages, you know, in the midst of a banking crisis. I also think it's...
So you're in other words saying we've gone first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then
exactly.
They fight you,
and then you know what happens after they fight you, you win. Exactly. And I'd say that's where our belief is. And the timing is a little too coincidental. You know, at the same time that you have government officials saying, hey, don't panic about the traditional system. They're saying, hey, do panic about crypto. Don't look over here. But Bitcoin was built for moments like this. It's an alternative to the existing system. Ethereum as well operates an internet native financial system. And these are means for consumers to make a different choice, or at the very least diversify. There's no solvency risk. There's algorithmic supply. It's not going to be caught up in the same contagion we see right now in the traditional system. And so that's valuable for consumers to be educated about.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And guys, we know Coinbase is definitely getting a heads up from the SEC. We know Andreessen, my guy, has his hands all over Coinbase. We know Circle is connected to Coinbase, which is Goldman Sachs. We know BlackRock is connected to Coinbase. So we know for a fact this is all part of a bigger plan. And guys, we know everybody laughed at Noah until it started raining. And I'm letting you know right now it's raining. It just ain't raining, it's pouring down. The legacy market is finished, and a lot of people are going to want to hang on to it. Same way we've seen old businesses that disappeared, the same thing is going to happen when the fourth industrial revolution is going to rise. And guys, we know the Fed controls the money supply. And is fiat going anywhere? No, it is not. Stable coins are fiat 2.0. So the same way they've been manipulating gold and silver, the manipulation is going to increase when it comes to the fourth industrial revolution. Because nothing will be real, people. Don't forget the videos I bought of Ray Kurzweil. Guys, we're going to be going through hyper deflation. And tokenization enables that. Remember, guys, the robots, algorithms, and drones now have money. If you don't understand the fourth industrial revolution, you don't understand the plan. And remember, the crypto teacher told you.
I think we're at the very beginnings of what could be a several-year cycle in gold, and I also put Bitcoin in that category as well. I mean, you have to love, finally, as a gold investor, you've been rewarded over the last couple of weeks, right? Weakness in the banking system and gold rally. That's why you own gold. The reason I think it could be a 2-year cycle is because I think that the Fed is close to the end of their tightening. The market is worried now about the consequences, and it could take a year or more for those consequences to roll through the commercial real estate market, right? The banking and lending dynamics. Maybe we have a shallow recession, but at some point, the Fed's going to start easing. And that's when gold's really going to party. You have some short-term things like gold floating with $2,000 an ounce. That got hopes going in the gold community as well.
Hedge, and then it was a risk asset, and now it sounds like you're saying it's back to being perhaps digital gold. Why?
Well, I call Bitcoin like an 8-year-old child. It's very, very early in the stages of adoption. Either there's so many, institutional investors haven't really gotten involved. Central banks haven't gotten involved. I think that's all possible over the next several years. So if you look at short-term performance, Bitcoin was less volatile than the NASDAQ at the end of the year. So if you take any short-term time period, who really knows? But the way I put it, this is, if you want to have this in your portfolio as a hedge, it's pound the table time, meaning you're not going to get a big flare. The starting gun's not going to go off. But at some point, the Fed will start this easing cycle, and you will want this in your portfolio. Short-term, there might be pullbacks, and it might be a sideways year for this asset as well. But I do think, when the cycle turns, it could be pretty exciting.
Well, the real problem with Credit Suisse, which is the analog, is they never made any money. Deutsche Bank is actually very profitable. So let's start there. Why bail out a bank that is just a chronic loser versus a bank that's doing well?
Let's get down to the New York Stock Exchange. Jim Cramer joins us now. I've been conditioned to love Fridays, Jim. I'm starting to wonder. Every Friday we seem like we start worrying about what's going to happen over the weekend. This is the third or fourth in a row. Do we need to worry?
Yes, without a doubt. I think that there are situations, let's put it this way, where things need to be resolved before Monday, maybe Tuesday if lucky. But I say that only because they can be resolved. We do have a huge opportunity that the Fed is offering at the discount window, and I think that only companies that have negative equity should really have a problem. These others should avail themselves of this because normally their bonds may be underwater as much as they may be maybe at 80, but they can borrow it at par, and no one's going to know that they did. So companies need to take action today. If they don't, they will be targeted by short sellers, and the short sellers will win.
What would you recommend European banks do at this point?
I've never trusted a European bank except for Santander. I will not change.
You think that they need to somehow say something about the rest of the AT1 market over there, or what do you expect? Anything? Go ahead.
I think the problem is that you have a bank that stands for Germany, and Germany stands for it. So that's what's worrisome, because we know from Credit Suisse that these low, so-called low quality bonds were all wiped out. So I think people are just saying what Deutsche Bank said, which is of course nothing like Credit Suisse, nothing. What Deutsche Bank said was, look, we're weak, we'll be strong. And people are saying, maybe the government backstops them, but what happens when they do that is they wipe out a lot of bonds. So they're in the troubled position of being a most favored nation bank. The reason why I like Santander is numbers are going up and their business is good. These companies aren't making any money. Credit Suisse was making no money. That's the distinguishing point. When I look at what Deutsche Bank's doing, okay, making a little bit of money, but come on. It has a lot to do with whether you're making money or not. Deutsche Bank will make money, so they're in better shape. Santander actually raised numbers in 2 weeks ago. So
the bond market and the Fed futures market seem to think that the situation is serious enough. The Fed may be cutting by the summer, Joe. That's what the data say anyway.
And guys, we have Jim Cramer at it again. Deutsche Bank is fine. Don't worry. And now we have Janet Yellen have another meeting on Friday, so we know we're going to have another movie either Monday or Tuesday. And then on top of it, guys, don't forget she stated we were broke January 19th of this year. And we're supposed to be completely running out of money by this summer. So, guys, they have all the distractions set up, so therefore they can destroy this traditional legacy market. and bring in the fourth industrial revolution, this new digital economy. And like I stated, guys, if you don't understand the fourth industrial revolution, you don't understand the NWO's plan. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate. Not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York. From COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.